He grabbed onto me and threw me right against the wall. Of course, I was only a little kid and he was in high school. And my grandfather heard him. And boy, he come out, he grabbed right onto his chest and he whirled him right into the wall, one hand. And he was going to hit him. My cousin was starting to hit him. He told my cousin, he says, next time you double your fist, swing, because he meant he'd be swinging on him if he didn't. Oh, he was a strong guy. I loved my grandfather. Yeah, and he had that peg leg, you know. But he used to do a lot of work, though. He used to, well, he stayed up to my aunts and things, but then he liked staying on our farm better. He loved the farm, and he loved my mother. He loved her better than he did the other one was my mother's sister, but he loved my mother, and he used to come down to the farm, and he used to cut potatoes and stuff, you know. They cut them to plant, you know, and they take and look them over, and they cut so many eyes on each cut. See, the eyes come out, I don't know if you know what they are, and they cut them, and they put those in the ground, see. And he used to come down to the house and help us out. He was a good grandfather. I loved him. He's buried in West Swanzey, too. Well, they lived in West Swanzey for quite a while. And then they moved up to Keene. My grandfather loved Swanzey better, though. He loved to live down here. I don't know.
Tell us about your nickname, Walt. Tell us about your nickname.
That what?
Your nickname.
Nickname? Oh, Mattie. Oh, God. Wow, I played softball for 50 years, and that's my mother's name. That's her given name, Mattie. M-A-T-T-I-E. And not a Y, I-E. And the kids in school were all calling each other by their mother's name, see, and mine stuck. All through softball, every time I hear somebody say Mattie, I know they're softball players or they're fans. And I won over 500 games. I pitched a lot of games. I batted around 400 in those 50 years. I didn't hit, I'm not a real home run hitter, but open field, I used to hit them pretty good because I line a ball anyway, and then they hit the ground and they don't get it, and I just run around the bases. So I don't hit many over the wall. I did over in Troy. I put 2 over the wall. That was unusual, but I was banging the ball pretty good that. But most of the time I hit them and run.
What was the worst trouble you ever got into as a teenager?
The most trouble as a teenager? Well, really, I never, oh, as a teenager, you said, as a teenager. Oh, God, I don't know.
Never did any mischief?
Oh, no, we used to go over this fellow's house. He had a lot of apple trees. And we used to steal his apples. He come out one day, I was up in the tree shaking it, and the other guys were picking them up. He come out on his step, and he says, just a minute, young fella, he says, I'll help you out of that tree. I'll get my shotgun. Well, he headed back in to get his shotgun, and I jumped out of the tree and took off. So he didn't get his shot. And we used to raid this guy's strawberry bed. And he was a wild man. He was in World War I. And I think he'd have shot you. I know he would. He'd have shot you right there. He did shoot one guy, and he hit him in the shoulder. He was stealing his strawberries. Oh, yes, I could write a lot of good stories. He come out of that house and hollered, you better get out of there. He'd shoot me right out of the tree. Well, he did, this pine did shoot at us. George Patno, was a young fellow with us, and he was going down the railroad track, and Pine was shooting at him. He didn't hit him, though. He missed it. My brother and I was hiding right. At that time, the railroad track had a lot of brush. They don't now. They keep it pretty well open. but it was a lot of brush there, and my brother and I hid right in the brush. And he was shooting at George going down. George should have never gone down. He didn't hit him though, but he hit Amadon. Hit him right. He was going to go back, going right back down there. He says, "I'll fix him." I said, "Go ahead, he'll finish you." He would. Fine would have shot him. I know he would. He'd have shot him dead. No, we had a lot of stuff like that. Oh, one time we went up on the Christian Hill, and the sheriff used to go up there. Well, he had a woman up there. He used to go up and visit her once in a while. And he had his car parked there so nobody knew where he was. And we went up there and took his jacked up the car, and put blocks under the back wheels. And then when no one raised hell with the house, he come charging out after us. We run down the hill a little ways and stopped because we knew he couldn't go with that car. He got in the car and stepped on the gas, all the wheels did spin. So he didn't catch us that night. One night we was raising cane, and we was on the other side of the river, the east side of the river, and we live on the west. And the chief of police was right there by the bridge waiting for us. So we went down by the dam, the water was low, and we went right across the river, right through the water, home. Left the old sheriff and them up there on the bridge. And they never could catch us though. We were pretty clever. Another time we was tackling corn. You know, when they stack it up in the fall, they stack up the corn. Well, we went around, we was practicing football, so we used to go around tackling those corn. And one of the piles didn't stay up, and the guy put some boards in it. And one of our guys hit it and hurt his shoulder. Well, that was the end of diving into corn, but yeah, we used to knock the corn over. But we used to go down the river and go home. One night we went all the way to Keene to get home. We swam the river. We was raising cane up there too. We swam the river to get home.
What were you doing before you swam the river to raise cane?
Oh God, we went doing everything. We'd tip over stuff and I'm telling you, we did a lot of damage, I guess. But, oh God, we used to do a lot of different things. We went up to Heinz's and picked up an old wagon they had up there, a buggy more or less, because it had the small wheel. And we come coasting down the hill on it, and we had a rope on it to steer it. And we were trying to we had a brake on it if you could get it on. And we was coming down the hill so fast, and there was a big corner there and the brook. Well, we know it wasn't going to make that corner, so we jumped off, and the buggy went right into the brook. Oh, we used to do some terrible things. Wicked.
Tell me about getting married.
The what?
Tell me about getting married.
Oh, God. I got married once, and that's all. I said I'd never marry again. No, we got along. It was her mother that got in the way.
Did you have a big wedding?
No. We went over. Well, we was going to go over to we did. We went over to the minister. We had a minister, Lance. He's the guy we started softball in town, and I used to play with him. He was a pitcher too. And I learned to pitch from him, but I was a lot faster because I'm younger. I used to come from behind my back like this, and then come out, snap it in. And no, it's just one of them things, I guess.
So he married you?
Yeah, he married me. And the only thing, I give him some money to pay him, you know, but he took it all, gave it to me, and just kept $2 because he made out a certificate thing for you, you know. That's all he kept was $2. The rest he gave back to him.
And you were 19. And she was
19.
16.
She was 16. Sweet 16.
Did your parents know?
Yeah, I ran off once from home too. When I was about 18, I took off. Well, I wasn't getting along with my father. I didn't have very good luck with my father. We'd even come to blows. I had 3 other brothers, and they never fought with him. But I wouldn't take his bull, and I'd fight back. And I hit him so hard one time, I knocked him right against a tree. I hit him too, because I'm not proud of it, but what was you going to do? Take a beating? He'd hit you. He had me right by the chest one night, and he tried to hit me in the face and never could touch me. I kept my head going back and forth. It was pretty tough. And then I ran away from home, and
Where'd you go?
Well, we went down into Syracuse, New York, and I was trying to thought I'd get, a big city, we'd get a job. Couldn't even find a job sweeping the sidewalk. There was no work. So we went, she got real afraid when she got in. She started crying. She was only 16, and she was afraid when she got to see those big skyscrapers. And so I know, I'd been to Bennington, Vermont. We went there quite a few times that year. I went alone sometimes. We walked over the Mohawk Trail one day. Oh, that's a beautiful trail. Come down around that, what is it, the hairpin turn? And I rode through that, what is it, the Hoosick Tunnel, about 5 miles through it. Well, we went through that the time I run away from home. Well, with her, I didn't want her. I didn't plan on her going with me. I was going to go get a place, find a job, send for her if she wanted to come. Now I went to this place, and all it was they had houses, nice sidewalks, no stores, no nothing, no mills. Up here we had all kind of mills in our place, even Gilsum, some of those little places had mills. Every town had a mill, nothing. And so I went back to the station, we were sitting there, and these kids were playing baseball, about our age, and the young girls had a regular team out there, and they wanted me to play for them, so I went out and played on their team. And I used the other guys' gloves when they come in, I went out with their gloves on. Well, I could run, I just got through playing softball. I got 4 straight hits, 2 doubles and 2 home runs. If you bounce them in the woods, you got a double. If you hit them over into the woods on the fly, home run. I got 2 homers and 2 doubles. And I'm wondering now if those people can remember that. I'd like to find a paper that's going in there, because some of those people should recognize us. They know we wasn't husband and brother and sister. We didn't look alike. I didn't plan on her going. But she says, if you go, I'm going with you. So I had to take the buses and things and train. We took the first train and we went to Bellis Falls. Well, you had to. We wanted to go to Brattleboro, see? And we had to go to, the train has to go where the track goes. So they went to Bellis Falls, then come back to Brattleboro. And then we headed into Massachusetts. And down there, well, I didn't dare to, I was going to go in a hotel or something, but I didn't dare to. I'm afraid they'd send us home if they know we weren't married. And so we went out, and I had been over there that summer, and we used to go swimming out to the big swimming hole. So we went out there, and some kids had built this tent out of pine limbs and hemlock boughs and stuff. So we stayed in that. It rained that night, and it didn't wet through. The kids did a good job. So we went in there. But the swimming hole that used to be there, I remember going over there. They had a lot of girls that used to come down there, about 15 of them. They'd leave their clothes in the woods and go down there skinny dipping. And so when I was with her, I thought I'd go back and see if they were still swimming there. And they were. How they did run for their clothes. They were still swimming there. Oh, God, I've had a lot of fun. Yeah, I wouldn't give it up. I love her. Oh, God, beautiful.
Yeah, like what?
Oh, well, I've done some wild ones even today. I was up on what we call Pine Hill.
Yeah, you ready to take your shirt off now?
My dog had started, there was a rabbit up there. See, sometimes rabbits go up there at night, but they won't come back up there, or if the dog jumps him. And the dog jumped him and took him into this blowdown. I know he wouldn't come back, so I was going to go down. But there was about probably a 25-foot drop. But there was a lot of snow down there too, so they piled right up. So I said I might as well jump off and land in that, and I'd be down closer. Well, I slipped just as I got ready to jump, so I fell more or less, and I was losing control of my gun. I was trying to keep it. I just threw the safety off because I just saw the rabbit, and I didn't put it back off again, so it was ready to shoot. And I fell, and I couldn't control the gun when I ended up in the snow. Good thing the snow was deep, because it never hit the ground. It went right into my stomach. It didn't go in, but I mean, if that had gone off, it would blow me kingdom come. And that's one thing I did, and that was when I was pulled up. That was dangerous. I could have shot myself. But God was with me again. I thank that guy every night I go to bed. Yeah, he saved a lot of things. But I had a lot of hunting dogs. I had 7 of them. Hunted coon, rabbit, bobcat. I shot quite a few bobcat up on the hill. I had one, I see there was a track up there the other day, a bobcat track. Oh, they're around, but there's not that many really, like they used to be. And the rabbits are awful scarce. I went out last winter on the snow, one track, one jackrabbit track.
Why so few rabbits?
There's something's going on. They're getting killed or something. I don't think it's the predators, because I don't think it's that many predators. How many foxes have you seen? I haven't seen.